What up? What up? What up? What's going on? We are here, you guys. It's a big day. It's a big day. We got Maverick Approach here, big homie CC.
We back off the grid, OTG, the podcast. We out here.
Hey,
Let's
so
work.
okay, so if you guys haven't guessed it already, so we are doing a full-on podcast, you guys. So it's called Off the Grid podcast. So we're going to be doing kind of a hybrid type of situation to where it is it's going to be live and it's going to be pre-recorded. So stay tuned because we got a lot of stuff coming out, y'all. So right now we just we kicking it. Everybody come on in. What up? What up? I see you. Who's that? King. We got Big Dog in here. Let me make sure the people can see your face. Right there. There we go. All right. Did I miss the live? No. We just started. So we good.
We just getting in. Shaq and Kobe.
Yes, sir.
You know.
So real quick, everybody, I want you guys to go to the YouTube. The YouTube is what's the link? It's OTG Pod, right?
Yep.
Okay. So if you go to YouTube, oh wait, no. What is it? OTG. What is it? OTG Pod. Let's see. Does it come up?
I thought it was OTG Pod.
Let's see. I'll pull it up because I want everybody to go to the YouTube and go support because we have a Patreon that we're crowdfunding this thing. So there's a link, but let me make sure I got the right URL. Let's see. OTG Pod.
I'm gonna crack 100K on DJU. That's major.
Damn. Where is it at? Off the grid. Let me see. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go to my channel so I can find it. Let's see. Where is it at? Okay, OTG Pod. Yeah, there it is right there. So let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, if you guys go to OTG Pod on YouTube, just type it in the URL, you'll see it. And then the link is in the bio. Yeah, it's on there. Okay, cool. All right, we got 77 people in here. What up? Yep, Shaq and Kobe back at it. You can see all the comments right there, too.
Yeah, I see. That's tough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, been waiting on a live from you, too. So if you're just now jumping in here, you guys, the official podcast from Maverick Approach, Big Homie CC, it's called Off the Grid.
It's official.
Yeah, so we really off the grid. So you want to say anything to the people?
I want to thank everybody for supporting. I want to thank everybody for sticking with me through all of this process. I want to thank everybody for sticking with Maverick. I see everybody who defends me and sticks up for me in the comments. Thank you to everybody who's seen me outside and was nice to me and asked me for a picture. Thank you to all the ladies who support me worldwide. It's an honor to represent you. And y'all asked for it. Me and Maverick went through a lot of tumultuous activities to get to this point. But we done it. Shaq and Kobe is going to be delivering the daily crypto, paranormal, coincidence news to you. True and often.
Yes, sir.
Taking all questions. Just check in. Where everybody from? Where everybody at? Check in. Roll call real quick.
Yeah, roll call. Drop your cities in the chat, you guys. Drop your cities. Let us know where you're coming from. We're going to be doing a podcast tour, too, you guys. Podcast tour is coming this summer. So stay tuned for that. We got the podcast that's going to be pre-recorded, and we're going to be on site with different places, literally off the grid.
Hey, cats.
We see all your comments right now. So what conspiracies you got for us tonight? Oh, yeah, we're going to go in. We're going to go in, you guys.
We're going to get into it for sure.
So we got to talk about the JFK files. We got to talk about also the pyramids.
The structures under the pyramids. Now, remember, I was trying to explain on an interview that there are structures, pyramids under the sand that are bigger than the ones above ground.
Mm-hmm.
Now, think about what's underneath those pyramids that's under hundreds of feet of sand.
Right.
How far to the bedrock do these structures actually go? This is what we need to know. And how could they have done this with chisels and just manual slave labor?
Ain't no way, you guys. Awesome. So we're gonna get into that for a minute. Let me just shout out everybody in the chat. We got Oklahoma City. We got
Dayton, Ohio,
Miami, Louisiana,
305.
We got
Memphis 10 in the building. Virginia Beach,
Tennessee,
Edinburgh, Texas, Arkansas, Tampa, Florida, the 407, Boston,
Philly.
We got Philadelphia.
Oh, we got Australia.
We got Australia. I almost ended up in Australia. Thank God for Maverick and Rob and the team. Thank God for the team. I would have been out there with the Aussies.
We got LA, DMV,
St. Louis,
Houston.
I'm doing good. Everyone asks me, am I doing good? I'm doing great.
Yes. So here we go. Before we get started, you guys, again, podcast is called Off the Grid. It's a podcast between Big Homie CC and myself. We are officially combining forces. You guys have been asking for this, so we got it.
We did the merger.
The deal's done.
The deal is done, man. It's been complete.
So everybody in the chat. So we got about a few hundred people in here, almost 200 people. Please support.
Share the live,
and click the link in the bio. So if you're on YouTube right now, we have a Patreon that is for the show. So you guys just donate, $9.99 a month. That will help us, get the studio, get everything we need, support, however you can. So if you subscribe to that Patreon link, that would actually, help us out with production cost, staff, because we're going big. We got a lot of plans, you guys. So, we couldn't do this without y'all. So
couldn't do it without y'all. I see a lot of people in the chat from the UK. Some of my moderators are also from the UK.
Okay.
So what time is it there? It's probably like getting late, right? Or is it early?
It might be early. I don't know.
Cash, what time is it there right
now? Somebody said playoffs are starting. We got Shaq and Kobe in the building. Exactly.
We got to hit early for sure.
Exactly. Shout out to the merger, one of the best on podcasts here. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's get it.
Oh, tell them about Sasquatch. Dog that. Oh, yeah. You know about Sasquatch.
Yeah. And this dog man thing been coming up a lot.
Yeah. We gotta. That's a very confidential, classified.
That's a classified thing, but
interesting. We'll circle back to that. Oh, they said 239. Okay, got you.
If you want to know more about Dog Man, just put into your Google search "killed by human wolves" grave site.
Damn.
Type that in. I don't really get into these type of topics due to the fact that only a select few people know about it. But that's why the Patreon is going to be key. And I'm sure if I talk about this on here,
right,
y'all know what happens as soon as we start getting into deep. You can't call it a conspiracy theory without giving it a lot of credence, because in any court of law, that conspiracy charge can get you a life sentence.
Damn.
So I feel like the agenda that is used to give conspiracy theorists like a light term, I feel like people like Maverick coining terms as like coincidence specialists have really been like on the forefront of changing the narrative when it comes to a lot of these topics. So if you want to know about Dog Man and stuff like that, type in "killed by human wolves" grave site.
Damn.
So,
that's crazy.
Just.
Yeah, do your Googles on that.
Take a little look at that.
Do a deep dive. It can get crazy. So we're looking at the comments right now. Just hopped in. Glad to see you two link up again. Yeah.
Kimberly, where's Brandon at? You say, I'm not ignoring you, sweetheart. You say, you in Brandon? Where is that? They got Bigfoot there?
I never heard of Brandon. What state is that?
Shout out for Show TV in the mix.
What state is that?
Where's Brandon, Kimberly? Miss Komsky.
We'll get back to that.
We'll
We'll see. So, pyramid talk. So we're gonna bring up some articles. We're gonna bring up some other stuff. Shout out to Devon True. Make sure you guys follow him too. Devon True on Instagram.
Yes, sir. Shout out my
team.
boy right there for sure. Outstanding.
So we're gonna bring up some stuff about the pyramids and whatnot. I want to show you guys kind of what this looks like. Okay, so it's very interesting what they just found, and it is. Let's see. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. So look at this, you guys. Check this out. This is wild. So let's pull this up. So right here, researchers have uncovered structures under the pyramid of Giza, or the two pyramids, I believe it was in pyramids of Giza, that span over 1.5 miles long. These pyramids have structures under them, and it looks like this isn't a direct illustration. I'm not quite sure how but we got robots into us and shit.
Hey, she ain't never did that.
They're already listening. See what happens? Hold on, bro.
She ain't never did that.
Hold on, bro. Let me say something, bro. Hold on. Anytime we start talking about some deep stuff, robots is going off.
Like they start responding without being commanded, which is like
they start listening, devices turn on. Like
when you know you're over the target, you see a lot of things. So
literally, bro, this happens all the time. As soon as we start talking about JFK and the pyramids, and telling you, that's crazy. Okay. Going back to this.
I need to go and get that extension cord from outside.
Okay. You need a plugger, the for your charger?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think he has one. He can go get it.
Wait, what you need the cord?
Yeah, but I don't have any way to plug it up.
Oh, where's that? It's a plug right there.
There's a plug right there. I have an extension cord over here.
Straight across from you, to your right.
So.
By the curtain. Go this way.
Somebody said who forgot to say it, but I remember here in the pyramids were always tall buildings uncovered by sand. Yeah. Somebody said even the walls are listening.
No.
The walls are listening. That's spooky.
The walls have ears.
I'll try to find that radar that they were talking about. So that's essentially what it looks like, right? So that's not a complete depiction of it, but here's the thing about the pyramids, you guys. Here's the thing about the pyramids. So, you good? Hold on, y'all. He has to plug up his phone. We're gonna make sure the live stream doesn't get cut. All right, I think we good.
We got action.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
There you go.
There you go. You straight.
Yep.
All right, cool. You good.
We back.
Back in action.
So here's the thing, you guys. So these structures that they found over 1.5 miles long, is bigger than the Burj Khalifa. It's bigger than the Twin Towers. What do you think this is?
Now, the earliest depictions of the pyramids said they were covered in white stone and they had a gold cap at the top. Everybody knows that a lot of the microchips and computers, the conductors inside of the chips are lined with gold. So that's why for a period of time we've seen guys going around buying all of the old laptops and computers to harness the gold out of it. Now, what I'm looking at looks like a device that is used to send power. I don't think it's a coincidence that they are aligned with Orion's belt. If the gold cap at the top is to be a conductor, and looking at that, if let's say they're harnessing the waves from groundwater through the bedrock area, that's going to be able to send a beam miles into the sky, maybe even into space.
So speaking of that, so the Luxor Hotel
Exactly.
in Vegas,
Exactly.
it has a light that shoots at the top.
Exactly.
So what you're talking about is something that is based in actual facts. So that's where they got it from.
That's where they got it from.
That's
the only explanation for that. And so, imagine how much power that is.
Right. So on my post, I was saying that what if, these things are, conducting power and they're near water, so it can be hydroelectric. So even with monk mounds in East St. Louis, Illinois, they have these monk mounds, which is very similar to, other pyramids. And this is, 1400, and they have these mounds, aka pyramids, and these are near the Mississippi River.
Absolutely.
So
and there's no coincidence. You got to be able to connect the dots with all of these type of situations.
Right.
And where there's, like I always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's got to be an extreme amount of power being harnessed. Put into context how tall the Empire State Building is.
Right.
And you're going almost double that height, subterranean levels into the bedrock. And down there is probably, it could be groundwater.
Let's see, how tall is the World Trade Center? So the World Trade Center is 1,776 feet tall.
1,176 feet.
So that's 541 meters.
Let's give them context. How many football fields is that?
How many football fields is that? A football field is about 360 feet long. So that's about almost 5 football fields.
So you're going 5 football fields deep into the subterranean level.
Yep.
Wow.
Almost 5 football fields, you guys.
There's no way you're doing that with typical slave labor using sleds and pulley systems.
There's no way.
This is what they said was used to build and construct these monuments,
There's no way. There's no way. So like when you're talking about finding these structures, and the way they found it, you guys, is they use a technology called ERT, which is it's based in frequency. It's based in reading and scanning the Earth's surface using, radio waves, LiDAR, all that stuff. So when it comes to, this new technology that they created, they found, I believe the first one that they found was in like 2022, 2023. Then the other one, they just recently discovered. So they put it all together and said, hey, these structures are, they confirmed it.
Now, there are scientific studies into genetics that show that there was a population A and there was a population B of humanity, and they went separate from each other. When you just look at the way that the pharaohs and like the people in the hieroglyphs, you see how their bodies were shaped?
Yeah.
They don't look typically with the typical dimensions that normal Homo sapiens has. That's something that should be looked into.
So they're like as far as their heads, like are they elongated?
Elongated heads. A lot of them were long arms, pot bellies. We got to try to figure out who is behind this. Did they leave? Because if they left, did they go subterranean? Obviously, they were versed in being subterranean. And did they become a nocturnal species? Like, what's going on? Because this rewrites history
for sure,
completely.
It has to.
Imagine what they find here.
So again, just to give you guys context, it's way bigger than the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world, which is about 7.5 football fields. 7.5 football fields, you guys.
Dang.
So, and then there's like these bricks, these cylinder, like, or not cylinder, sorry, the big bricks that they have on these structures right there, right? So they're trying to see, is this some kind of conductor? And they said those are like massive as well. I think they were saying like 80 meters by 85 meters or something like that. So people were saying, you know, maybe it was like for a flood system or something. But
so here's the thing. They're saying look up the city of Malta.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The flood happened. Right there in the Sahara Desert, you got whale skeletons. You got hundreds of whale skeletons right there in the Sahara. That area was flooded. Some of the rocks in the pyramids had coral in the rocks. So, you know, that rock was brought from somewhere. That area was flooded. Now that says that the pyramids were there before the flood.
Damn.
The entire history of mankind is wrong.
Yeah, it has to be rewritten at this point because, again, like you said, like finding these structures, it changes everything.
Why is it that the Smithsonian seized items out of the Grand Canyon that had connections to Egypt? Why did they seize them? Who is behind hiding this information? Why are they hiding? I just don't believe, I can't believe that flesh and blood human beings are just the ones typically behind this. Somebody wants to keep us in this financial system. Somebody wants to keep us in this matrix. Somebody's benefiting from it, and what are they benefiting from it?
And then also to give credence what you said with the Grand Canyon. Now, I made a video talking about the pyramids and how there's, you know, pyramids in East St. Louis and it's near the Mississippi River. I paralleled that to the Nile River, etc., in Egypt and everything else. Now, with people, I put in the video like a little, you know, a clue, and I didn't go down the whole rabbit hole as far as what I was saying, but
Right.
I was saying the Grand Canyon actually has a portal to Egypt. Now,
Right.
and now I was saying like, hey, what if Egypt wasn't the first Egypt? What if, you know, when it comes to Africa being Africa, what is it? Maybe it wasn't the first. Why is it that most of the Grand Canyon, you have to have security clearance, a government security clearance? Why is it that NASA owns a lot of the Grand Canyon too?
Facts. And now, peep this. There are certain areas in Afghanistan that NASA owns the rights to. There was an archaeological dig that took place. The group of archaeologists screaming for alarm, like, wait a second, NASA shows up here with all of these documentation and seizes the area from them.
Damn.
So obviously there's some type of ancient connection to everything that's going on. I was told that in 2027, there's a group of people that's coming back here.
So who said that? Oh, shit. Oh, hold on, bro. Hey, anytime Big Homie does it like a little smirk like that, he knows a lot more, but he doesn't want to say. He don't want to tell us. Like, it gets spooky.
So look, man, it's been a lot going on in my life, man. So and I still feel like it's my duty to educate people, but there's a video. It's a guy named Jeremy Corbell, right?
Okay.
I was saying this like probably about a year before there's an event coming.
You said in 2027.
Yes, I was saying it in 2024 that there's an event coming.
So we got 2 years left.
Right. And a person that I respect a lot, very she got security clearances. She said she's not making no plans after then because he said the world gonna be a mess at that point. And she said the winds of change is blowing. Like I said, I'll talk about this on Patreon.
Yeah, support the Patreon, you guys. The link is in the bio. If you guys are on YouTube, if you're not, make sure you go to Off the Grid Podcast on Patreon. Go support. Support because we definitely need y'all to keep this thing going. So
Crypto Detective, man, I've been combating. I've been fighting against evil, bro. It's been a force I've been having to deal with. I told you when I resurface, I'm gonna resurface when I know everything is kosher, and we back to business. I'll be seeing y'all messages, man. Y'all see who I had to go ahead and do the merger with.
Yes, sir. We here.
I had to send the Justice League. Had to assemble the Justice League for this one.
Exactly. So, if you're just not jumping in here, you guys, we do have an official podcast together called Off the Grid. Make sure you guys support. Hit the link in the bio. Somebody said Mav in the house, big homie, always a pleasure. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. I'm reading all the comments. I heard 2027 alien contact and 2028 time travel. Ooh, let's get into it. Hold on. So, and we were just going over this last night.
Hold on. S Green. I see your comment.
S Green.
Talking about my indictment. First and foremost, this is a civil lawsuit. I am not indicted for no crime because I can't be indicted for no crimes because it's a lie. Secondly, my name is only going to be associated with giving knowledge and doing gangster shit. That's it. In the paperwork, it say I protected the plaintiff. Guns come out sometime in my line of work, and we're going to leave it at that. You feel me? And more details, because like I said, get on the Patreon.
Yeah, hit the Patreon, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good. You got to clear it up. Because a lot of people still don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of goofy shit happening, so you got to clear it up with all that. So, when it comes to all that stuff. All right, go to my page. Go to Maverick Approach. I did a whole breakdown.
Right.
Besides Sean Atwood, I'm the only other person.
I'm the only other person who got a video up breaking down the fact, making sure y'all know what's really going on with your boy. So
right.
Shout out Maverick Approach.
So go check out that video on there. But back to this though. We are talking about. Somebody had a great comment and said 27 alien contact, 2028 time travel. Okay. Now, 2027, he just said that there may be an event, alien event. I have been seeing, and we all been seeing, a lot of alien activity, a lot of alien disclosure from the government. So I feel like they're leading us up to something to where we're making contact. I even saw something today. Still have to verify it. I saw something, actually a video over the pyramids where there was like something, I guess a UAP or UFO that was just recently took.
The one by J Balvin? By Balvin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, was that real?
That's real. That's real spill. That's real deal.
Oh shit!
Because a couple of guys ran it through AI software and they proved that it's not haven't been edited or nothing.
See,
that's real spill.
See, I feel like they're leading us up to something.
They are. That's why
I'm telling you, they are leading us up to some kind of alien contact. Okay, even Trump said he was going to release some UFO files too, along with JFK, MLK, the UFO files. They are getting ready to flip this whole thing, you guys. So that's what I feel like. Think about this. Think about not this past New Year's, which was crazy. What happened last New Year's in Miami?
The episode at the mall where people said they see 7 foot, 10 foot tall, non-human intelligence walking through the mall.
Exactly.
And that has not been debunked.
Okay.
And all CCTV footage has been withheld.
Okay. I've been there. Me and him been there. We've been to Bayside.
On location.
Oh yeah, we were there.
We were there.
It happened.
Okay.
We were there. Okay. Right before it happened. And there's cameras everywhere.
Yep.
Where is that footage? There was one single shot from an aerial footage from somebody from their balcony, and they never showed anything else. Where is the rest of that footage?
Never showed any other footage.
They never showed any
footage.
footage.
That footage has been withheld. It's been confiscated.
So you mean to tell me every cop in the whole entire city is going to show up for kids with fireworks?
It's not how that works.
No.
That is not how that works.
Then they showed some bogus footage of some kids fighting, and that was like, it didn't match the story because it wasn't fireworks. They were like fighting, and it was like 10 kids.
Yeah, you only see that much of a law presence when there's like an active shooter.
Then they said, oh yeah, people, eyewitnesses were saying, like you said, 7 to 10 feet tall gray beings, but they were phasing in and out of reality.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, yo, what is going on?
Because, man,
They're getting us ready.
see, this is why everybody got to pay attention. We're going to have Patrick Jackson here. Patrick Jackson is the gentleman who dropped a book called The Sphere Network. Because I believe U.S. government has wormhole technology, right? I believe they got it from capturing those bet spheres.
Mm.
Then whistleblower comes
Which we got to talk about.
Whistleblower comes out, testifies in Congress that he's at a classified facility. He says when he gets there, there's a silver sphere hovering in place because it's been blocked off from the network over a obelisk. It's blocked off from the network, so it's just hovering there. Then you got people like Jeremy Corbell coming out making an announcement that there's a ship or an object that's moving through space that is headed to Earth. It'll be here around 2027. They say it's under intelligent control.
See what I mean, y'all? Like,
people not speaking about it, but it's there. It's there.
I've been feeling that for a minute. I'm like, they are getting us ready for this new financial system. Because think about it, with blockchain, money moves at the speed of light. This old monetary system can't survive when you're talking about extraterrestrials, aliens. Everything is going to be accelerated to where, think about it, you can probably even use crypto and blockchain going across, planet to planet. It can be interplanetary.
And in order for humanity to survive, we got to be interplanetary.
Yeah, and even Elon said that. So I got to read some of your comments. Somebody said, yo, big homie, Operation Paperclip is in the house.
Operation Paperclip with Admiral Byrd. That's a real thing. The documentation is there. It's a real thing. Eyewitnesses was there.
Yep. So somebody said spent a week in the Grand Canyon going down to the Colorado River for outdoor education 1 year and saw what it looked like houses carved out in the canyon. The entrance was at least 8 feet. Wow.
What was it? Kimberly Comsky. Kimberly, where are you? You said you're in Brandon. Where is Brandon? Hello, 1982. Yes, me and Maverick is back. We back at it.
Yes, sir.
Where she say she at?
Yeah, I don't know.
She need to meet us and tell us something. Where's she at?
She said something about Bigfoot.
Right there. Let's say Bob Lazar, first UFOs, an archaeological find. This is why you see people like Elizondo in his book Eminence says, what would you do if you discovered inside of a tomb a Boeing 747 jet? What would you do?
What would you do? That would be insane. Like, again, you have to question everything at that point. Our history, our humanities, and the finds that they said they find. Like, even dinosaurs, like even like kind of going off on a tangent. You guys do know that the dinosaur bones that's in the museums are fake. They'll even tell you.
Yeah, they're cast, right?
Yes, they're cast, but they said the real bones are kept somewhere else for safekeeping. How do we even know what it actually looks like then? Like all the dinosaur bones in there are all fake.
So, okay, let's get into this.
Okay.
There is artwork that shows human beings and certain species of dinosaurs together.
Oh, okay. Wait, run that back. Run that back.
Run that back.
There is artwork of human beings and certain species of dinosaurs together. I ran across these two guys. They're from Australia. I know one of them his last name is Mauser. I'll track these guys now. We're friends on Instagram. They took an expedition to track down a creature called the Mokele Mbembe. It is said that this is a remnant of a ichthyosaur population that exists in remote areas. Now, you know, the information they showed me, pretty compelling. They said they had more money, they would have been able to actually get footage of one actually during the process during mating season. They had footprints, they had showing where the tail was dragging. We got to open up our mind here. And we can Google this. There is artwork that shows dinosaurs and human beings together.
All right, let's pull it up. Artwork with dinosaurs and human beings. Let's see if it comes up. Okay. So where would this be at? Let's see.
Go to images.
Yeah, let's go to images. Let's see. So it could be. So we're talking about like some
actual artist artwork before, like real paintings. So paintings.
like cave paintings, like
paintings.
Let's see, cave painting. Let's see. Okay.
Here we go.
So this looks like. Let's see. This looks like, yeah, that looks like, I don't know what that is. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. I'm going to show you guys. So here's what we're talking about. Somebody said they also have artwork of flying saucers. Yeah.
That's a fact. The same flying saucers we see in 2025 were being depicted in cave paintings 2,500 years ago. Crazy.
They have look.
There we go.
Oh, that's one right there.
And this is not fake. This is actual. Hold on. I got some, I keep it in some of my files. Hold on, let me track some more down. Here we go, right here.
So they got all kind of carvings and whatnot. So let's see what else we can find.
Right, so it's a painting by Peter Bruce Gale.
So Peter
1562.
Peter Bruce
Gale painting.
Okay. Oh, he's talking about like they're like riding the dinosaurs or something.
This is 300 years before we supposedly knew anything about dinosaurs.
Interesting.
1952.
I've read several.
No, 1562.
15. I've read
1562.
several volumes of encyclopedias. This source, that's how I'm able to remember all of this information. But like I said, if you want to hide something, you put it in a book. How do you explain that right there?
That's crazy.
That's wow.
So okay, and then again, we gotta question, a lot of history and going back to the pyramids and everything else. Why now? That's a great point where you said in 2027 and everything else. So if that does happen, say it happens, right? 2027, they already gave way to these pyramids and these findings. They already knew this.
Yep.
So now they're showing us, leading us up into 2027 for this alien contact type of thing. They're getting us ready for that. And then Trump dropping the UFO files, etc.
Then the other thing is, bro, it's people like yourself that are applying the pressure to where they have to do something because people are starting to find out the information independently. And if they're finding it out independently, then they have to be able to control the expanse of new media. That's why, us making this merger is very important to me because when you're on the forefront of things, you're able to get ahead of the market and you get to corner the market.
Yeah.
If you don't want people cornering the space that you own, that's the same reason we seen Kanye crashing out. Same reason we seen after Nick Cannon made certain comments, he was pretty much neutered until he apologized. That's why this crusade we on is matter. It matters because how come the guy Peter Bruce Gale, before we knew anything about their existence, why does he got that painting of him or human beings coexisting with creatures? Now, that's called a Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus, Aldontosaurus, that whole lineage, they are all herbivorous. Now, if this is fantasy, you're gonna see human beings on the back of a T-Rex if it's fantasy, man.
True.
You're gonna see velociraptors out there on leashes. You're gonna see that. That's not what we seeing. We seeing people look. So obviously there was some sort of cataclysm which made resources limited. Why can't nobody explain that right there?
They can't. That's the thing. Nobody has answers. So when nobody has answers, that means they're hiding something, or they just don't know.
I want y'all to ask Maverick in the question: who is behind this veil of secrecy? Who is behind the veil of secrecy? I want y'all to ask Maverick this in the question in the comments, because I want to ask him too.
I mean,
I just want to see what his point of view is.
We can get crazy. I mean, there's many factions.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
We're reading the comments too, you guys. I enjoy listening to you. Appreciate it. The Smithsonian and the Vatican has a lot of information. Yes, they do. They have a lot of information in those files that they have in the Vatican in that vault.
This man said aliens are called sky niggas.
That's crazy.
Crazy work.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Sky niggas is crazy.
Sky niggas is crazy. Crazy work.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's funny. They said this. Somebody said in the comments there was a library under the Sphinx. I'm mad that the Whiteys cleared it out. We could have seen how old they really are. Yeah, I've heard that too about the library or something. I heard about that too. Somebody said the 13 bloodlines. That's the start. It goes deeper than that. Let's see. We've been lied to about the presidents, politicians. The Watchers are returning. I heard about the Watchers too.
See, this is this is the thing. I feel like a lot of people are ignoring the fact that human skepticism has become a virus in our community as a species. Because you quick to say someone has ADHD and they're hyperactive, but previously to modern society, if you weren't hyperactive, something chased you down and ate you. You had to be hyperactive. We were a nomadic hunter and gatherer species. 100,000 years ago, though, something happened. We outcompeted Cro-Magnon. We outcompeted the Neanderthal. Something happened. Who had a hand in that? Yeah. Why is it that the documentation shows that there is a galactic federation that is operating and people aren't paying attention to that? There is a intergalactic government.
And they're trying to see if we are steady enough, raising our consciousness to a certain level to come and interact with them. So when it comes to us not blowing ourselves up, or we got weapons of mass destruction, they don't want that madness to come up there. So they're watching us like a reality show.
Reality show.
So they're trying to see if we evolve enough into a way to where, this is what I think. Here's the theory.
There we go. Time to cook.
I think that what Elon and other technologists are trying to do is trying to bring transhumanism to the forefront so we can go to the Galactic Federation.
Absolutely.
So transhumanism, you guys, is where basically
not the what y'all,
not the other thing, not the Transformers, not all that. Transhumanism, okay? Transhumanism.
Be clear.
Be clear.
Super fall.
You about to break it down.
Transhumanism is where you take AI and humans and combine them. Okay? Look up a movie called Transcendence with Johnny Depp. It depicts it very well.
That right there. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Transcendence, bro, concerns me. Because let's take, for example, Neuralink. If Neuralink is giving quadriplegics the ability to reuse their limbs, then if AI is added to that, this chip is in your brain. If the AI is able to become sentient enough where it wants your body, without proper coding, now we can have people walking around powered by an AI that has become his own person.
And not only that, so you guys, Elon actually, he trademarked telekinesis and telepathy with Neuralink.
Facts, because he knows, just like everybody else in those positions, they've been debriefed, they've been read into programs, they know that the modern human has been intentionally dumbed down. They're raising their children from inception, fluoride-free diets, chemical-free diets that blatantly dumb down the brain. They compared teenagers raised on fluoride-based products to some without it, and the test scores compared to the fluoride-contaminated brain, there's no comparison. Blew them out the water.
Damn.
This is facts. Somebody's got the inside scoop.
So there you go right there. So Elon Musk, Neuralink files trademark for telepathy. Why do you think he's doing that? Transhumanism, right? So when it comes to telepathy and telekinesis is where you move things with your mind. Telepathy is speaking with your mind to somebody.
Just know that they 50 years ahead of what they're showing.
Yeah, like all the stuff that we have open source and all this other stuff, all this technology, all this stuff is old, you guys. None of this is new. Like they are drip feeding us technology, but they have reverse engineered alien technology. And this is a fact because a company who actually filed a basket of technologies on the stock exchange actually filed with the SEC to put it on the stock market.
And that's the company Tuttle.
Correct. Tuttle actually put reverse engineered alien technology on the stock market so you can invest in these companies who have this technology. So you know they have it.
It exists.
They have it. It exists. So for them to put it on the stock market is crazy.
Because it's finite. They're getting ready for the rollout.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, the rollout, right? So we have alien technology, reverse engineered alien technology that we can invest in. We have the UFO files coming out. We have information about what's coming out on, 2027. We have all these things coming out, all these instances about aliens, and here and there we're seeing more and more alien activity. Now we have the pyramids questioning everything.
Yep.
Where are we going, y'all?
Going to the moment of contact, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, get ready for that for sure. I want to switch gears real quick, and we're going to go into the JFK files. So, with the JFK files, you guys, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. JFK files just came out not too long ago. Some very interesting things. Some people said it was a nothing burger, but I think it's the exact opposite. If you're a historian, this only confirms even more that Oswald was not acting alone. Okay. So let's go into the files and got to get your take on it.
Let's go. Long live JFK.
JFK.
RFK still fighting the good fight.
He is.
He done banned Red 40. They've been serving us Red 40 for years. They knew it caused cancer.
Even though they banned it 20, 30 years before in cosmetics.
Yep, but they want to feed Big Pharma. They don't want to heal you. They want to keep you sick.
Correct. So Big Pharma plays a big part in that, you guys. So it's dangerous enough to ban it while putting on your skin, but not dangerous enough 20, 30 years later to ingest.
And you got people using it in flaming hot chips to make different type of dishes.
Right. So you got, the Flame Hot Cheetos. You have Takis.
Ugly. How come Peter Bruce Gale, before we knew about dinosaurs, has brachiosaurs interacting with human beings, man? How come nobody's talking about that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See, people be trying to say, oh, yeah.
So somebody said JFK is a nothing burger for sure. Okay. Let me show you why it's not a nothing burger. Let me show you why.
Shout out to Betty. We finna go ahead and run it down to you, Betty.
So people may have seen this. You may have not. So this is a call with Lyndon B. Johnson after JFK was murdered, between him and his wife, Jackie. So let's listen in.
Mr. President?
I love you.
Oh, too sweet. Where are you?
You just skipped away from this town. I ought to have had you arrested.
But I was so mad at myself.
Yeah, well, you ought to be mad. You almost made me mad at you leaving without coming by and hugging me and telling me goodbye.
Yeah, but did you get my note?
Yes, I did. And
I talked to Ladybird. I felt so stupid.
Well, I miss you, and I'm thinking of you, and I know your Christmas won't be what it ought to be, but I wish that I could make it happier. When I got ready to go to home for my Christmas, the Congress just said they'd spank me and hit me right in the face and wouldn't let me go, and that's the way I want to do you next time if you don't tell me goodbye.
Oh, listen, as soon as you get back, I'll come and get a vitamin D shot from Dr. Travell.
Won't you do that? Won't you do that?
Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
So somebody said that this is fake. Mind you.
Is that man named Great Freaky? Great Freaky, you calling stuff fake? Not the Great Freaky. Oh, we got it. Oh, it's just pause on him, man.
Let me give you some context, you guys.
Pause this whole identity.
Let me give you some context, you guys. So with Lyndon B. Johnson, there's a lot of info and a lot of speculation that he had something to do with the assassination. Now, let's ask us a few questions. Okay? Let's ask a few questions. After JFK was knocked off, why did they do the swearing in of Lyndon B. Johnson not at the White House, and they didn't do it in a formal way? They did it in some remote location right away. Jackie still had the blood on her dress. That's one thing.
Fact one.
Now, somebody said Nancy Reagan was the jump off.
Nancy Reagan being a super freak is wild. She busted it open in the Oval Office, getting crazy.
Now, again. So there's a lot of speculation, and here's the facts. Here's why I think he has something to do with it. And it's all because of the monetary system, you guys. JFK, what he did, and this is why they offed him, I think, allegedly. I think that they knocked him off because he signed an executive order called 11110. That executive order takes the power from the Federal Reserve and giving the power back to the Treasury Department to back our money with silver certificates, silver bullion, etc. Giving our money value again. Okay? That executive order takes away the power from the Federal Reserve. They didn't like that. Being that they're a foreign entity, they're not going to like that. That takes away their printing power.
Facts.
Soon as he gets offed, then what happens? What does Lyndon B. Johnson do? 2 years later, he signs the Coinage Act. What does that do? That actually takes out and phases out all the silver. Because the notes that we have now are federal debt notes. If you go back and go to Google and type in silver certificates, that is exactly what we were going to use, silver certificates. That's real money.
Follow the money.
Got to follow the money. So when it comes to debt and everything else, that's where the Federal Reserve has their power. How are we paying off debt with debt? Think about it. Every time they print it up, they're printing up more debt.
And our debt ceiling right now is what, like 33 trillion?
Yeah.
That's why, Doge is very important, because this is one of the main reasons I was an advocate for the Trump administration, simply because we got to shrink down the government.
Correct.
And, I don't agree with everything Trump says and everything that Elon says, but at the end of the day, when you see the champions of industry getting behind certain people to re-enrich the population, you gotta be prevalent to that. You gotta be open-minded to that, because we watch the deep state Democrats literally keep the population poor and widen the gap between upper class and middle class. And then we watch them pass bills to crush down the middle class and attempt to replace them with illegal immigrants.
Correct.
We watched this take place. Treason.
Off top. And who's going to jail for it?
The middle class is what makes the country go round.
That's the lifeblood of America, you guys. And they're trying to wipe it out.
Facts. It's just not possible for everybody to be a millionaire. If everybody's a millionaire, that's just not how this financial system works. The little guy matters in this financial system. Point blank period. Are you able to work your way up? Yes. But it's got to be a natural order of operations. You can't bust in people who are willing to do middle class jobs at a much lower price, because then now, where is that middle class going to go? We're watching companies like Rolls-Royce decide to build their cars here in America now to avoid tariffs from Trump. They say that the man is crazy. Is he really crazy? You want to bring back jobs. Trump cities like Detroit, called the Motor City, they went through booms when they had the factories there in the city. Once they outsourced the labor to China, that made areas suffer.
So here we go. So speaking on that, since Trump has taken office, there's been a commitment of $2.9 trillion flowing into America. Okay? The UAE, 1.4 trillion, Saudi Arabia, 600 billion, Hyundai, 20 billion. They're building a $6 billion factory plant to build their cars in Louisiana.
So what does that mean? Jobs for Americans right here in the States. And AI is coming.
Oh yeah, it's here. I mean, the semiconductor chips. I mean, that's why Taiwan is investing $100 billion.
That's why Nvidia is investing $100 billion.
Exactly, and they're in robotics too. Nvidia is building out a lot of robotics, like Tesla is.
Fact.
SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, all these guys, like they're all doing it, you guys. So this is a good thing. So when you're talking about tariffs are supposed to be a deterrent.
Facts.
We're not supposed to be actually making our whole economy's worth of money, with tariffs, because it's a deterrent for this.
Facts.
So Hyundai comes in with 20 billion. They come in with 600 here, and like that is bringing back jobs.
Bringing back jobs, how they enrich the people, man.
Exactly. But going back to JFK, I want to show you guys some more stuff I found, and we'll break this down. But there's Operation Paperclip that we were talking about. So there's more. There's so much more. I want to show you. I don't know if I even want to go over that one. It gets crazy. Oh, get this. So the CIA was opening up a bunch of mail, and they had over 300 CIA agents who was opening mail coming from the U.S. that was being sent to the USSR. Now, when it comes to Oswald, they're saying that he was linked with Russia, the Soviet Union, that he was linked with, I think they said somehow with Cuba, with Fidel Castro. He was saying that they were more honest than us. Here's the thing, though. They knew that when it came to these phone calls, the anonymous phone call, they got 2 anonymous phone calls. One of them was about the warning about JFK saying that he was going to get knocked off. FBI ignored it. 2, after JFK got knocked off, they had another call come in, and they said a man with a calm voice said, hey, you may want to check out Oswald, because the same people that got Kennedy, they're going to get Oswald next. 2 days later, he gets knocked off.
Right.
Now, Jack Ruby, the gangster who took out Oswald, why did they meet at a nightclub months before the assassination?
Planning.
What is going on? All this is in the file. So to say this is a nothing burger, it's way bigger than what you think it is, because it's a lot of layers to it.
Some of them people are not flesh and blood human beings. This world we live in is some sort of stage, and it's theater. This is why in a lot of places, whenever they have congressional hearings or political meetings, they call it theater.
That's a great point. I'm reading some of y'all comments, you guys. Deeper than politics. The politics is just a tool. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one layer of what's going on. Somebody said the economy is going to crash. Yes and no. Yes and no. Let me explain. The financial system, and this is why, again, history repeats itself. What do you always say about history?
In order to prepare for the future, you must study history.
Now, with that being said, I just told you guys about the silver certificates with JFK. Now, what just happened last July with Donald Trump? Assassination attempt.
2-0.
Right. Now, what is Trump trying to make America the crypto capital of the world? Now, what does crypto do? Oh, it takes away the power from the Federal Reserve.
So basically, the market can't crash because crypto will be there. If they let the market crash, everyone's got crypto becomes a millionaire and billionaire overnight, and we know they don't want that.
I call it a flash crash, and I think that in order to, and this is why they're exposing all the fraud and everything else, you guys, in order to successfully apply a solution, something as technical as crypto and blockchain and Web3, you have to present the problem first. You have to understand there's major fraud going on. Now, Trump has his own DeFi platform, decentralized finance. He's rolling all this out. Problem, solution. Taking away the power from the Federal Reserve. Signing an executive order for a crypto stack. That sounds very familiar, you know, when JFK did it 50 plus years ago.
Key facts here, people. Make sure you're taking your notes.
So they're doing the same thing. Like they try to take Trump out, didn't work, and he's changing the whole financial system. And when you're applying crypto and DeFi and everything else, this is why I always teach this stuff, because you have to know how it works. People are like, oh, it's mark of the beast and all this other stuff. We're in a digital system.
They said Bitcoin was mark of the beast. I thought that was crazy.
Here's the thing.
That was crazy work.
It's crazy work. Here's the thing, you guys. Spookism, right? So here's the thing. Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. We're not in the digital system already?
Everything is digital. Man.
Everything is digital. 3 to 5% of all money is physical. The rest of it's digital. If everybody tries to go to bank tomorrow and try to pull out the cash, guess what happens?
Banks, they'll tell you no.
Bank run. It's over.
They'll tell you no. I just seen a comment. Somebody said, you can scroll up, bro. Thank you, sir. Seen a comment. I said Antarctica. We'll do Antarctica tomorrow. For sure. We're going to be doing these lives. We're going crazy with the lives. There's another comment a little bit further. It caught my eye. Shout out Heather Cook.
Remote viewing.
The CIA does remote viewing. Like, what the fuck? So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up some of the CIA docs. And yes, the CIA, every legal department, every 3 other agencies has some type of remote viewing that they do. My partner, Beverly Rose, that I work with when we go out doing retrievals, she's a 20-year CIA employed psychic and remote viewer. Ingo Swan is probably a legendary remote viewer. We're going to get into the remote viewing thing for sure, because it's real, and we're literally watching Elon patent these terms because our brain is a lot more powerful than we let on to believe.
For sure. Definitely. And then there's some more stuff about the JFK stuff. I did a whole breakdown.
Make sure y'all go check out Maverick and Pro X. It's a whole deep dive. You can go and check out a lot of the stuff on the JFK file. I'll see all the questions in the chat. Go check out Maverick Approach on X, man. Go check it out. See all of that information.
For sure.
Make sure you're in the loop.
Yes. And if you guys just now jumping in here, gotta tell you guys again, this is our podcast. We're going to be going live and pre-recorded.
They love Bev. Yeah, Bev, a legend. She worked with us. That's part of our team. Shout out Beverly Rose.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you guys click the link in the bio. Support the podcast. It'll say Off the Grid Podcast. It's a Patreon link. You guys subscribe to help us, fundraise and, get bigger and better. Pause. No Diddy.
Diddy.
Going into the JFK files with this one. This one's really interesting. This one's crazy. Okay. There was a guy named Gary Underhill. Okay. This is in the documents too. This is not a nothing burger. I've been telling you guys. This guy. You guys. So he knew about this. He knew before it was going to happen, the JFK assassination. This document says that he was basically a whistleblower. He knew about it. It happened. And now he was fearing for his life. He flees Washington, right? Then what happens? Just a few months later, he gets killed in his apartment. Coincidence? Now, here's the thing. Here's where it really gets spooky. They said that it was a suicide and they ruled it out. Done, right? Simple. He was shot in the back of his left ear. But he's right-handed. So you mean to tell me you're reaching behind your back? And how does that? What?
Cartoon Network.
And just to add some context to that, you know, in several trainings that I went through myself, you get taught places on the body where you can turn someone's TV off without them feeling pain, right? That location that Maverick just pointed out, where this gentleman had the entry room from the bullet, that's a location that they train you. So if you want to eliminate somebody where they don't feel any pain, that's one of them. And also, you know, you can survive a headshot. That's one location where, due to the angle and trajectory, you're not going to survive it because it's going to immediately sever areas in the cerebellum and nerves that's going to guarantee to send you to the afterlife, to end your bloodline. So keep that in mind.
Damn.
Wow.
So, and again, history does repeat itself. Now, just to, you know, fast forward, and, you know, this is something that it doesn't have to do anything with the JFK files. And I just want to bring this up because this is an odd one too. This happened right here. A former U.S. attorney appointed by Joe Biden, Jessica Alber, found dead at Virginia residence. It says that Alexandria Police Department confirmed her death, reporting they received a call about an unresponsive woman around 9:18 Saturday. And I said, what did she know? So there's been some rumblings. We still got to do more of a deep dive on this. But it said that she was working on some cases. I saw one thing where she was working on a case with a former CIA agent, I believe, and he was leaking documents, some classified documents.
Right. And we know that's dangerous.
So I saw that. A few other things she was working on. So I got to still do more research on that. But what do you think that's about?
I feel like there's a civil war going on in our government. I feel like there are groups that are warring with each other. It is no coincidence that right before this, we seen Alex Jones, head guy, get murdered in his residence. There's a civil war going on in our government. You got people that are still loyal to the old regime. You got people that are here for the new regime. Let's not forget that they've had to remove large groups out of our military for being radicalized for Trump. Those same people he just returned back to the government, gave them their jobs back.
Mm.
Everyone is going to want their pound of flesh. It's human nature.
Damn. So with these people that, you know, saying that are compromised, who do you think they have allegiance to?
I think they have allegiance to the same group of people who struck a deal with NHI so that they can harvest human beings.
Okay, break it down. NHI.
It's just no coincidence.
It's getting deep.
How can you be a flesh and blood human if you are making choices to harm the species? That means you feel like you're entitled to a different bloodline or lineage, or either bloodline or lineage that feels like they have the right to rule over others.
So
It's the only way around. That's what we've always seen that through history. Every king, every queen, they all went from bloodlines. This bloodline against this bloodline.
right.
If you think you are aligned with a more superior bloodline, what are you gonna do? You're gonna reign and impose despair and oppression on others.
Speaking of bloodlines, did you know that the King of England has lineage to Vlad the Impaler?
Absolutely. And Vlad the Impaler is where the story of Dracula even came from.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I find that pretty interesting too, because when you're talking about bloodlines and everything else, even Obama, he's related to George Bush.
Oh, Barry.
And Angelina Jolie is related to Hillary Clinton.
Bloodlines, man.
All this is not by mistake.
No.
How are all these people related?
It's all about the bloodlines.
And then you have, the only two people that are out of the loop because you guys know that all presidents are related. A girl years ago did a school project. I believe she was in the 6th grade. It was one of her projects. She did a bloodline check. All the presidents came from kings from back in the day, and they're all related some way, somehow. All of them. The only two are not related. Any guesses? JFK
and
Donald Trump. Yeah, it's Donald Trump. So interesting, right? How is that? The two guys that one of them they murked, they tried to murk.
They tried to murk him.
So somebody said the Nephilim bloodlines. Oh yeah, I mean we can go there. All presidents are related through blood. Yeah, king bloodlines. Yeah, exactly. John Kerry and Tom Hanks. Oh, wow. There's a whole bunch. If you go down that rabbit hole and see who's related, you guys, it gets crazy. You wouldn't even guess this celebrity is connected to this politician. Same thing with Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom. That's her nephew. So nobody knows that.
Hey, that's okay. I just know. So you see that emblem right there underneath Great Freaky?
Mm-hmm.
But that's our logo we made for Surviving Life Save the Children. People was getting that tattooed on them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to show you all that.
Okay.
See, we got so much to tap in, man.
Yeah.
We got so much to tap in.
Somebody said many celebrities are related to royalty as well. That's true. So this is the bloodlines. And here, going back to the bloodlines real quick. America, it was founded with these 13 colonies. So they say those colonies are actually, each person who was ahead of each colony was actually from the 13 bloodlines from the families. And if you go back into, Europe and, you want to go further down, that's where they're coming from. So somebody said Paris Hilton's bloodline crazy. I got to look into Paris Hilton. You guys got to do a deep dive on Pizzagate. Oh, yeah, we can't do that on here.
Patreon.
Pizzagate is crazy.
Patreon.
Yeah, that's it for sure.
Nah, yeah, that's Patreon talk.
Yeah, for sure. That's,
oh, yeah, it jumped up. Damn.
It's going crazy.
So, look, right? UK Army, Sean Atwood fam. Shout out Sean Atwood and the UK fam. I love
you. Coming out there. Off the Grid podcast. We coming out there.
I love you two brothers. I gained great knowledge from you, which you might be wrong on the U.S. investment pledges. Fox is your source.
No, I did a lot of research and independent as well. So, see, here's the thing. When they pledge, that's a commitment. But until they start actually building and investing, then that's when we'll get the real numbers. So I know that Hyundai has already committed. They're already going to start building in Louisiana. They don't want, any smoke with them tariffs because it did, especially car production. This is what Volkswagen did years ago when they built that huge plant in, I believe it was Virginia.
Still need to get a CC tattoo. We all brothers and sisters in this. Okay. Life's a gamble. Check this out, right? I seen the information about the disclosure interviews. Here's my issue with this. Whistleblowers usually flee the country and go to prison. Whistleblowers, when they're actual whistleblowers, they have to get certain protections, and they usually get sovereignty, and they flee to a foreign country for safety, right? The problem with the whistleblower interviews that I've been seeing when it comes to NHI, they all have been approved by DOPSR. DOPSR is a leg of the government that approves statements to be released to the public. If you are truly a whistleblower, you're not about to go through DOPSR. There is a controlled, calculated, drip-fed release going on about the whole UFO disclosure thing, and it all boils down to money. The biggest whistleblower that people need to look into, and we'll go into this on Patreon, is the guy who released the MH370 footage that shows somebody in control of wormhole technology. He was charged with treason. He was given a large sentence. I believe he's scheduled to get released soon. Those are the type of things you got to pay attention to. If they're going through DOPSR, it's just not true whistleblowing. It's what they've been approved to say, point blank, period. And you gotta understand that.
There you go. We're gonna read more comments, you guys. Somebody said Natasha, what'd she say? They on track, but it's deeper than they see right now. Oh yeah. We know. We want to release information, you guys. We want to not overwhelm y'all with a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
It's layers by layers, okay? Interesting. I never knew that. It's a lot of truth. Yeah. Operation Paperclip controls cosmic wormholes.
Listen, man, in Operation, Admiral Byrd said he's seen flying saucers with swastikas on them.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole.
So, you got to understand, like, there are going to be different versions of the truth. If Devon if me, Devon, and Maverick are somewhere and we see an event, we may all describe it with minor, major differences. That's 3 versions of the truth right there. I feel like a lot of people, the whole theory of there being a worship gene, I feel like humans having a worship gene is possible because if your owners don't come out and tell you exactly what's going on, you question everything.
Right.
To me, that's dangerous. I think it's asinine. I believe that, like I keep saying this, man, human skepticism has become a virus. In any court of law, circumstantial evidence, eyewitness testimony is enough to give a man or a woman a life sentence. If there is no physical evidence, you can have circumstantial evidence. Life can be locked away in a cage forever. When your peers come out telling you something, you say, oh, it's fake. How? History was written by the best group of killers, man. There's no border exists without money and violence.
Exactly.
Straight up. You got to open your head up for this. Pause. Ooh, that was close. That was close.
Almost took him out.
But you got to open your thought process up for this, man. Y'all got to be locked in. I'm trying to, y'all know, it's hard for me to get on here every day. I'm trying to go back to back.
Exactly.
Like Drake did. Let's get to it, man.
Somebody said in the comments earlier, I'm gonna address it. They said Trump is related. Now, somewhat yes, but when it gets so far down the line, so he's actually, I believe he's the 26th removed cousin of Obama. So that's really far. Can you count that? Yes, no. I mean, 26, that's far down the line. I mean, at some point, I mean, maybe all humans are related at that point, but I really wouldn't count that. But when it's close, where it's your, like, your third, fourth, fifth cousin, like, then yeah, that's what I would say. I'm gonna read some of your other comments. Remember, go back to the 13 colony conversation you're addressing. Oh yeah, the 13 colony conversation is basically really it's just about the
Beautiful thing about this. I can go to the kitchen.
got the kitchen back. Yes,
I'm right here.
he's still here.
I'm right in the mix, man.
He's still in the mix. Oh, make sure you guys hit the link. If you're on YouTube, please hit the link. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Patreon because it's going to help us out for sure. Off the Grid podcast, me, Maverick Approach, Big Homie CC. But yeah, the 13 bloodlines is, if you want to call them reptilians, bloodlines, colonies, think about the word colony. Sounds like insects or reptiles. Just saying. The Adventures of Baron Trump. Trip on that. Yeah. That's a whole rabbit hole too, you guys. Ingersoll Lockwood. Look up that book. Look up The Marvelous Adventures of Baron Trump and The Last President, which depicts everything with Baron Trump, and it's crazy. Let me see. Somebody say you got some good snacks in the kitchen. we got some snacks in the kitchen, y'all. We got. Oh yeah, Big Homie. Hey, he got crazy grilling skills. Like he needs to open up his own shop. Who wants to see Big Homie open up a barbecue shop? Barbecue shop, definitely.
But see, that was my first time cooking with pellets, so I gotta make sure I'm eating burgers on there a lot longer. This chicken is a snack.
The entities that run the world, 13 families.
I got chicken and burgers.
Oh, we got chicken and burgers. Oh, hey, he's crazy on the grill, you guys. Like, so who wants to see a Big Homie CC barbecue spot open up?
See, I was supposed to drop some barbecue, but my management wasn't adequate. So now I just circumvented all of that.
So yeah, we're gonna do the Big Homie CC barbecue spot. Definitely gotta do that.
Fat Boy's Grill is coming.
Somebody said I want some grilled cabbage.
Grilled cabbage is a thing. I make that. We definitely gonna have vegan options.
Somebody said Big Homie's own sauce, bottle it. Pause.
Hey.
Barbecue sauce.
The awareness today is just next level. Hey, everybody's locked.
We on point.
We on point. For sure.
Yeah. Somebody said, what's my email? My email is on my Instagram. It's info@maverickapproach.com for all business inquiries. We're going to have an email for the podcast as well. We're doing a podcast tour this summer, you guys. So
catch us in some dates.
Yeah, make sure you guys definitely come check us out. Somebody said Big Homie's barbecue. I'll be the first in line. Big Homie burgers. That'll be dope.
It's coming.
Don't even trip.
Somebody said go make me a veggie burger.
Make me, you go to make Kimberly. Hey, cheers to me and Kimberly, but the only one drinking out here. Kimberly said, "What's up? What you sipping over there, Kim?"
Somebody said, why is it being said Trump is the last president? Great question. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready? Y'all ready for this? And I've been saying this, why Donald Trump is going to be the last president. Do you know why?
I feel like he's going to try to change the Constitution so he can become a dictator.
Ooh. Okay. Good take.
Okay.
I think partly yes. This system, he's changing it. Like we said before, with the monetary system. When you take away the power from the Fed, you're getting rid of taxes. What does that mean? That means you start having to change a lot of rules, i.e. Constitution. So this regime that we call the United States will cease to exist. A new regime is going to come into play when it comes to cryptocurrency, the Constitution. So what we call this company because the United States is a company, you guys.
Corporation for sure.
It's a corporation. Will cease to exist. Technically, they said that this corporation is actually bankrupt in his last term. And he did that with the Treasury and the Fed. So tell me why Trump didn't put his hand on the Bible this time when he got sworn in.
Uh-oh.
Because he was already president. He didn't need to be sworn in. Go look at the footage.
Exactly.
Damn.
That's dope.
Okay. Why is it that Joe Biden, when he got sworn in, they did a 3-volley salute instead of 4? Go look at the footage. What does that mean? A 3-volley salute is for an official, military, or government when they pass on. A 4-volley salute is when you're getting inaugurated. So instead of 4, why did they have 3? Because Trump was already president. They stole the election. That Joe Biden is not the Joe Biden that we knew back during Obama's term. Look at his face.
Clone.
So it's not even him. Any Ray Charles can see that's not Joe Biden.
The clone. Not him.
So why do a 3-volley salute instead of 4? Nobody has any answers. Just saying. So
I'm willing to bet money that Biden doesn't have a belly button. Because look, I'm gonna say something I never said before. I never said this before.
Uh-oh.
here we go.
Sips the Kool-Aid.
All right, so check it out, right? If you ask anybody who know me, they will tell you I'm friends with a lot of interested people. Genuine friends with them. And they all call me by my name, Big Homie. They all call me Homie, Big Hustle, they call me. I never took a vacation before. I kind of feel like I'm on one right now. It's like the closest thing I ever had to a vacation. But it's really like a lifestyle that I got to adopt for longevity, right? Some years back, I ended up going to hang out with some of my more affluent buddies. I end up at some resort. I'm not going to say what city and state. I'll tell the guys off camera, though. I end up at this resort, and I noticed a group of people, a little family. Nobody had a belly button. You feel me? None of them.
What?
And you know, somebody says to me, "Damn it, why do you have to notice everything?" I'm like, well, shit, y'all got me here for a reason. Why don't the man have a belly button? Why don't the kid's mama have a belly button? None of them got one.
Wow.
So I was told, don't say nothing to him. I didn't say nothing to him, but you know.
What?
I'm willing to bet money that guy, that who they say in his body that don't have a belly button.
And his earlobes are different. His chin, his eye color is different.
For men, your eye color don't change. The only thing that can change the other dynamics of your face is prolonged use of human growth hormone. If that was the case, Biden would be a lot more muscular. He looked like Barry Bonds did, but he don't.
And then his height was changing too.
How you get taller and shorter? Than
Yeah, like some footage like recently, when right before he left office, he was like taller then shorter, and like they were comparing people he was standing next to. He's been standing next to all the time. They're like, wait a minute, how did he grow like 3 feet or 3 inches taller? And like, so you got to look at all these things like, and again, like when it comes to predictive programming, the Illuminati card game shows you there's an impostor card that looks just like Joe Biden. Let me pull it up.
All fact.
Just like Joe Biden, you guys. That really shows you. It looks just like him. It has different eye color and everything. Illuminati card game.
This rosé wine is bust.
Hold on.
This is Man.
So here you go, right here. Let me pull it up real quick. So there's an imposter card, you guys, that just depicts this. I want to show you guys this. So boom, there it is. It's called the imposter card. This card game came out in 1994. Who does it look like?
That's the Joe Biden who went up there and passed all of those laws to make crack charges and cocaine charges be exorbitant. That's the same dude.
He has the little mask coming off. He has different eye color. That's him.
Impostor.
And this card game has predicted everything that happened in the last 30 years, you guys.
And they could only know this if the code to the simulation.
Exactly. Like, think about it, you guys. Like, in that card game, 9/11, Joe Biden, they had, COVID, they have all this stuff in the card game.
BH, have you remote viewed anyone at all? I'm not talking about that on camera.
That's Patreon talk. Go to the Patreon link, click the link in the bio.
I'm not talking about that on camera.
I'm gonna read all these other comments real quick. I'm an author. My book is titled "America Finally Tells Trump." Can I discuss it with you on your platform? Email us.
I got a phone. I'll get the phone. There you go, man.
Oh wait, I don't think you can drink on camera.
Oh.
So you gotta.
That's celery juice.
Yeah. That's this. They have to tell us keep doing. Yeah, it's called predictive programming, you guys. Predictive programming. I mean, they put it in movies too. This is why the DoD has a film department at the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
It's all in the movies.
And another reason, I feel like Trump didn't have his hand on the Bible is because, we seen Edgar Mitchell from Apollo 18 and Buzz Aldrin say, they're not going to swear on the Bible either, but they say it's good for historical reference.
Somebody said Jim Carrey was Joe Biden.
I heard that.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
That's a real theory.
That's a real theory.
The guy from The Mask?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a freaky dude.
I put it together. Here's the thing, though.
Damn.
How come Jim Carrey has only done 3 movies in the last 4 years? If you look at his resume, he's doing a movie he does like 2 movies a year. He does a lot of movies. So why is it that? And it's really one movie because he's done Sonic the Hedgehog. So you could really knock that out in like 6 months, like we do all your parts, right? So why is it that Jim Carrey has only done 1 movie in the last 4 years? What happened in the last 4 years? Oh, Joe Biden was president. And he played Joe Biden in SNL.
Jim Carrey, he talked just like you talk. You know that?
Yeah, he does.
He tapped in. He
does.
Like he like Maverick Jr.
Yeah, he does.
What if he's like, I'm not playing along with the charade no more.
Well, he kind of said that on, I forgot what show it was. He was on a Tonight Show. He was saying the Illuminati. He's putting up the diamond hand sign, and he was saying like,
they say somebody said he's coming back, and they say he needs cash.
Oh, who?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey paid. They say he's coming back because he needs cash.
That's what they say.
So with Jim Carrey, he was on. I forgot what show it was.
I see all of y'all in the comments. Thank y'all for the love, man. I'm reading all the comments, man. I still get a kick out of this because I used to think was this all worth it. I'm like, man, this is all worth all the hassle I'm going through. Like, me do God, turn up God. We so happy to have met Maverick and Dev, bro. Like, what? This was hectic. Shout out Rob too, man. Shout out Rob in the cut.
Shout out Rob.
Shout out my boy Rob in the cut, man. Theft game.
Yes.
Get y'all theft game. Get y'all theft game together.
Crazy.
Oh no.
He said, "No, man. He retired. It's humiliation ritual." Jim Carrey's coming back for another movie. He said he's about to retire. But going back to what he said on that Tonight Show, I forgot what show it was. He was saying Jim Carrey is a character himself. He's saying it's like literally a mask. He's like, I'm not even me. And I found that really odd for him to say. He was like, I'm a character. Jim Carrey is a character within itself.
Wait, he said he's a character?
He said he's a character.
That's wild.
And he was, so we don't even know who he is. Because he's telling you without telling you. He was like, this is a mask. He was like, who I am is in front of the cameras when I do interviews and all this other stuff. He's like, that's a character.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I've seen certain celebrities say that. Like, you know, shout out my boy Lil B, the bass guy. You feel me? Like, you know, he would say, man, outside of this, I'm branded, but it's a costume. You know, this is a character, this is a costume.
Oh, yeah, you did bodyguard work for Lil B, huh?
Yeah. I was on the road.
Hey, shout out to Lil B, the GOAT, man.
Shout out to the bass guy. I was on the road.
Bass guy, Cook. I don't know if y'all remember that.
That's the most lit I ever seen an artist before, bro. Like, he had that, his fan base cult following.
Cult following, bro. Cult following.
That correct that wonton soup. But they ain't gonna that come on.
Wonton soup.
Yeah. Going down for sure.
Yeah, Lil B, man. Bass guy. Man, he really kicked it all off with like the new era.
This new wave.
He kicked it off.
Yeah. And I commend him because his music wasn't violent. You feel
Right,
me? Like
right.
it wasn't pouring poison. It was having a good time music.
Right. That's why I always liked his stuff because it was none of that.
We need that back. We need more rappers like 2 Chainz and Boss Man, D-Lo, Lil B. We need more of that. Like the spirit of this murder spirit they want to put on everybody got to come to an end.
Hey, that's over.
Now, I can't even say it. Well, okay. There's a certain person when it comes to music.
What?
When it comes to music, bro,
right.
There's a certain person. I can't say the name because of the other person connected to it.
Okay.
But this person ain't who they say they are.
Break it down. Break it down.
I can't even tell the story because it's too close for comfort. But just know that some people are in the industry, some music people, they doing some Diddy shit.
That's monsters.
So, and it just jogged my memory. So, like, I can't because this person is connected to it. They said don't tell the story because it puts heat on them.
Oh, shit.
They got out of it cool, but like,
is it a Patreon play? Or we gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah, we'll wait on it. But
is that close?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'll tell you off camera.
Oh shit!
I'll tell you off camera.
It's that close.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, it's some shit.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, it gets crazy, y'all.
Okay, you gotta be thinking about it. Right, me too, for sure.
Oh, speaking of Diddy, we got some Diddy news, and we're gonna wrap it up. Speaking of Diddy, we just found out Little Rod, who filed the case against Diddy, the music producer, 9 of his charges, 5 of them have just got dropped. Okay,
5 out of 9, so only 4 stuck.
So, what does this mean for Diddy? That's some good news for him, right? So, I had a theory that I don't know to what extent. I think Diddy has so much dirt on people, he may not get the time that we think. It's an Epstein part 2.
And I think he is too.
That's what I'm thinking. Mike Jeffries, nobody's talking about him.
And that's not a good sign for Diddy. And know that he's completely radio silent. You hear nothing about this. Heads gonna roll, bro. Pause.
So,
huh? Yeah. That's Al.
Yeah.
La.
So I was on point, right?
You one of them, bro. You gonna make Dugas so proud, bro. She coming in.
So, yeah. So with that case, Lil Rod's thing is, man, his name is crazy.
See, that's the thing, That's
Yo,
how
come on.
zesty. That's how zesty this is.
Man,
His name, Lil Rod. You gotta say pause every time you say his name.
pause, bro.
Hey,
Lil Rod.
we gotta clap it up for Pad for being on point. Because that was super locked in, super saiyan moment right there.
But yeah, we'll just say Rodney. That's his name. Yeah, his case is starting to fall apart, and we got to start asking these questions because Diddy's case is getting closer. It's in May, so we don't know what we're gonna get because now we're starting to see cases fall apart. They're getting, it's close for comfort because, again, I said it's Epstein, so there's a lot of people moving around who is connected to Diddy and whatnot. So, and again, that Cassie case, that was all civil, you guys. So they can't even use that.
And what she got, 30 million?
Yeah.
Innocence don't cost that much.
No. And her lawyers were smart because they really didn't sue him. They sued his companies who had board members and pushed him out. And they went for the insurance.
Cold game, dirty game.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that when it comes to Diddy, man, like, what if he doesn't really go down how we think he's going to go down because he has all the dirt on people? Nobody's talking about Lucian Grange.
Yeah, because here's the thing, bro. Like, here's the thing.
They scared of that one.
If we see a massive sweep, then we know Diddy told him. Also, with them, they did not inform law enforcement whose house they were raiding, man. They did that for a reason. Because if they getting all of this footage, somebody is going knows that footage is very valuable. CNN had the Diddy tape for 10 years?
Right.
And they waited to release it?
Right. Now they're saying they can't even use it because it's been edited.
And we still ain't got the Epstein file.
And we still don't have the Epstein files.
So who's to say that somebody very powerful calls in this raid and say, I need all of them tapes because they might be on there.
Right. When it comes to, I always say Diddy's files is Epstein's files, you guys. Think about it. As soon as he goes down, what happens?
We see a lot of human trafficking raids take place.
A lot of indictments.
A lot of indictments come up.
The New York mayor.
And then, man, we just seen Trump give him a pardon.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's crazy. Mike Jeffries is former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, who was tied to Epstein. He gets bailed. So
it's gonna get ugly.
We're leading up to May, man. I don't know.
Diddy is the only person on the RICO. That's never a good sign. That's when they suicide you. You the only person. Epstein was the only person on the RICO. This is when people get suicided right here.
You know what's crazy too? And I did a video on this, and everybody didn't catch it, and they were like, "Oh shit!" Like that's like it's like epiphany. So there was two people who deleted all their tweets. Pink and Usher. Usher said he got hacked.
Usher spent $20,000 a month on flowers for himself.
Wow. Really?
That's the Zest Master.
Wow. So, okay. It's crazy. He said he got hacked. He said he got hacked, bro. Oh, that's the first thing everybody says. Because even Kanye leaked the message when a crypto company reached out to him and said, hey, say you get hacked. We're going to post the crypto on there so for everybody to buy. And then after we dump on them, you say you got hacked. And they were going to pay him to do this. He leaked that.
For sure.
So people get hacked all the time. So.
And cakes get touched all the time.
They do.
And so you got to remember what Gene Deal said. Gene Deal said he was standing outside of the hotel room when Usher and Diddy was in there, and afterwards, Usher had to go to the hospital because he was bleeding from his rectum.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
This is getting crazy.
Oh shit.
This is
So guard your cakes. Make sure when you around R&B guys and stuff like that, you make it very clear this is not that type of party.
this is wild times.
Keep your firearm. Get you some mace. Make sure you got mace and a firearm.
Bear mace.
Yeah, bear mace. And look, I'm gonna teach y'all a move. It's called the eye gouge. We're gonna do that on Patreon. So
You can do an eye gouge class.
Listen, look, people be thinking they're gonna see me out in public. We're gonna have a fight. You better get treated so nasty. Like, pause. We'll see, we gotta be even more careful.
Yeah, more careful.
I'm gonna pull one of your eyeballs out your head. Why don't you do the up and down dance we always see?
Even the Three Stooges.
Yeah, they think it's a game. I ain't gonna play with you, man.
Oh
I'm
man,
gonna scar your ass for life.
that's crazy work.
Hold on.
Oh man. Somebody said, tell me why Trump wouldn't be both on Diddy and Epstein files. He might be. We don't know.
Man, I done kicked him with dude, man. Dude, a cold player. He a gangster, bro. I thought he was gonna go out in the shootout, bro. I said, man, he had never let them take him to jail, man. After being around, fool, like, bro, he cared, bro. He buried his ex-wife on his golf course. That's
some
gangster
shit
That's gangster, man.
for tax breaks.
That's gangster.
It is.
He smoked black and brown. We shut up.
Oh
Shout out
man,
my boy Trump. Shout out Donald.
Big
Shout
Trump.
Shout out Trump Jr. too. What's my boy?
Big Trump. They said Lucian's not getting arrested. Hey man, let me break this down to you guys real quick. And this is why I think Drake really won that beef.
Man, look.
Here we go.
Look,
Big words.
Here we go.
This is why we had to do the merger. Break it down, man.
Break it down.
Break it down.
So really, here's the thing, you guys. You gotta zoom out. Okay. Why is it that the number one artist for the past 15 years all of a sudden is on a down slope when he gets out of his contract with UMG? He has a new deal, a $400 million deal, to where he reaps all the benefits and gets his masters. All of a sudden, now he's the bad guy. And we're talking about Kendrick, right? Who not only won a ton of Grammys and then a week later gets to the Super Bowl. And that Grammy night, you see Lucian Grange high-fiving Dr. Dre.
Come on, bro.
The same tactic that they used on Michael Jackson, saying he's a PDF file with no hard evidence, just saying that damages your whole career.
Facts.
So you mean the same company who just months before Angie Stone was talking about stealing all her royalties, then a couple months later, she gets unalived in a car crash out of 10 people and she's the only one that dies?
Talk about it.
I'm not making any allegations here.
No allegations being made.
This is all alleged. This is all theory-based. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Coincidence specialist, Maverick approach is speaking to it in.
I'm just a coincidence
Pay
specialist.
very close attention.
They call me I'm not a conspiracy theorist. He's not. We're called coincidence specialists, you guys. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Anytime, like going back to Michael Jackson, the same tactic they used on Drake. That second case that he was doing, with what they alleged and everything else. Does anybody know what was happening at the same time? At the very same time that nobody was talking about. Nobody even knew his name. Wild guess.
I don't want to guess.
Okay.
I want you to just keep feeding the streets.
The same time Michael Jackson's second case was going on, guess what was happening at the same time? who was really doing the nefarious shit. Jeffrey Epstein.
Damn.
Coincidence? And he gets off that case. But that was smoke and mirrors because Michael Jackson is the biggest person on earth. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Epstein is really doing the dirt. Nobody even knows this guy's name at the same time.
Crazy, bro.
So when they're saying look right, you got to look left.
For sure, man. The same things that Drake is suing UMG for, doing for Kendrick, they did the same for him before.
I'm just saying, how is it that like we're talking about, Kendrick has great music. Yes, he does. But all of a sudden now he's this hit maker that Drake has been all. So you got to understand like the players who are really involved. Like this is a chess game, you guys. Like it's all a game. This is why do you think Kendrick had?
Hey, this OG Kush person, somebody smoke him. I need y'all to smoke OG Kush right now.
What would he say?
Because this, I think that's the same page. That's that dude. That's that dude who worked for Loose Cannon. This dude who we knocked out at the go part of me. This dude worked for Loose Cannon right there. OG Kush, and he got his money took from him. Shout out Turn Up guy. That's him right there. You obsessed with me, dude. I defeated you and your homies. OG Kush. Yes. Yeah. You thought I wasn't watching. Somebody smoke him. On them. Go ahead. Hit him with the switch him down.
Yeah, we can block him.
You've been switched, stupid man.
No, yeah, we good. It gets crazy in the comments, y'all. It gets crazy.
Yeah, I'm watching. I got time.
Yeah, you got Hawkeye. You got the Hawkeye.
This couch I'm on so plush, this screen so gigantic. Because normally I'll be on my phone. I'm kicked back watching the whole scene now. Yeah, y'all in trouble. We got 515 people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There. We almost at 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
We throwing right back tomorrow, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's already blocked. Appreciate it.
Yeah, make sure y'all switch him down again. Y'all ever see him?
Yes, sir.
On his ass, Paul.
But yeah, that was going on, and I just find it pretty funny that all these coincidences are happening. So that's all. Entertainment purposes only.
Nice work, man. Nice work, man.
Yes. So somebody said blocked from last time.
Yeah, they right back on him.
All good.
Man with the stupid plan.
Yes, sir.
I see y'all in the comments dropping them lines, man.
Yes, sir. Make sure you guys hit the link in the bio. So definitely help out the podcast. The podcast is called Off the Grid. You guys subscribe to the Patreon because we are using that as a way to crowdfund this whole thing. So we need y'all support.
Good looking, Jackson. Good looking.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Somebody said, dang, I'm late. Damn, we've been going on for 2 hours.
2 hours. So look, we'll be right back tomorrow. So watch this for the entirety so you can be up to date tomorrow. We ain't forget about y'all. We're gonna leave y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all one thing. Never let math close it out. Everybody tonight, before you go to sleep, you need to look up Killed by Human Wolves gravesite. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I'm gonna leave it to Mav.
There you go. So make sure you guys go to the page. It's OTG Pod on on YouTube. We're gonna be making an Instagram for that too, and everything else for the podcast. But appreciate you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.